Welcome back. So, we are currently at war with Iran. And if you haven't been paying attention to evangelical Christianity, Christo-fascism, one of the whole purpose of this war is to side with Israel and to bring about their version of Armageddon, backed by Christianity, what Pete Hegseth has said. And I am not a Christian. I say this in other videos. But I do love me some Jesus. The real Jesus. And since the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, all of our military dealings, I have a question for Christians, evangelicals. Who would the Prince of Peace bomb? Who would the Prince of Peace go to war with? Who would he kill? You see, I was raised Catholic, and I went to a fundamentalist Southern Baptist private school growing up. I know all the rhetoric and the dogma. I've read the Bible. I know the Bible very well, and I can quote it. That's one of the reasons I'm not a Christian today, or what would be considered traditional Christian. The beliefs I have that are Christian are heretical to the modern Christian church and to Catholicism. I believe in Gnosticism. That is the Jesus I believe in. I believe in the Jesus who gave the Beatitudes. I value the Beatitudes over the 10 Commandments. I believe in a loving Jesus, not a punishing Jesus. I believe in a Jesus that called out hypocrisy and the Pharisees and the Sadducees. I believe in a Jesus that flipped tables. I believe in a Jesus who performed his first miracle, not in his own timing, but at the request of his mother, to honor her. I believe in a Jesus that loved women and fought for them and protected them. I believe in a Prince of Peace, and I believe that his kingdom is not of this world. And I believe that he rejected worldly power, all the power of all the kingdoms of the world. That was his last temptation in the desert. He said no. Which begs the question, if you want to take it literally, if you want to study the Bible, if Satan could offer all the kingdoms of the world, all the money, all the power, if Jesus would bow down to him, then that means that it was his to give. That's why I don't believe that this world and its kingdoms represent the true Jesus, which, by the way, wasn't even his name. So who are people praying to? That wasn't his name. The idea of the end of the world in Christianity, of revelation, of an apocalypse, is misunderstood widely and manipulated. Jesus does come back in the story with an army, but his weapon is a sword that comes out of his mouth. Why? Because the sword is a symbol all across these belief systems, all around the world in general of modern occultism. The sword represents truth. It's coming out of his mouth because he's speaking truth, because he is the Word. That's how he defeats evil, by telling the truth. Apocalypse is not fire and brimstone. It means unveiling of the truth. And interestingly enough, in Hinduism, the end of the world comes with the last avatar of Vishnu. His name is Kalki. And very similarly to Revelation, he comes out of the sky riding a white horse and carrying a sword. Because in Hinduism, we are in Kali Yuga, which is the darkest age before the end of the world, blah, 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 blah. And the thing that is threatened now in this dark age, the last thing holding up Dharma, Dharma being righteousness, the last pillar is truth. New Age, toxic positivity will tell you that love is the highest vibration, that is the highest goal. That is a fucking lie. Love without truth is delusion. Truth is the highest goal, because in and of itself, it earns and deserves love. And every other thing, everything falls away that is unnecessary, that is a lie. Everything will eventually bow down to truth, because it cannot be destroyed. It is eternal and self-evident. It can be hidden, but not forever. The veil is being ripped away, literally and figuratively. The Epstein class, people are seeing the bullshit. People are seeing evil like they've never seen it before. The disillusionment is crumbling. There's a reason why the church didn't want people to read or be able to read scriptures. There's a reason why the Catholic Church took books out of the Bible and hid them. There's a reason why slave masters didn't want their slaves to learn to read and be educated. There's a reason why women were not allowed to be educated or go to school. Knowledge is power, and the truth shall set you free. Humans who are evil perpetuate the evil in this world. Not the devil. Maybe the devil through them, whatever you want to call it. These monsters, they're people. They're people. A lot of people, regular people in the world, cannot comprehend true evil. Their psyche cannot handle it. They can't believe how depraved somebody that looks like them can be. We want to blame the devil. We want to blame demons. We want to blame all these things. And I'm not saying they don't exist, and I'm not saying they're not working in this world. In Hinduism, they believe in it too. They have different names for them. But it's people. Flesh and blood. One of the reasons I'm an anarchist is because I don't believe in hierarchy. Because positions of power in this world draw certain types of people that love power. And those people usually have the dark triad: psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism. It draws disgusting ass evil people, and even well-intentioned people that end up in positions of power are eventually corrupted by it. They're bought off. These wars, they've been bullshit for a long time. Not a well-intentioned, well-meaning people have participated based on lies. Now we know it's a lie. Now we know it's bullshit. Now we know it's sick. People didn't stop believing in God. People stopped believing in this Christo-fascist bullshit. This racist, bigoted, misogynistic, homophobic bullshit. They're not paying attention to the real Jesus. Yeshua. Isa. It's all coming out. It will continue to come out. This is a process, and it is going to wreck a lot of people mentally and spiritually and emotionally, because they've been so comfortable in their privilege, in their delusions. They didn't want to know the truth. They wanted to stay plugged into the matrix where they were nice and comfortable. We're out of time. Get with the program. We see you. We see what it is. We see behind the curtain. You can punish the people that stand up, like that Marine veteran from Raleigh who got his arm broken the other day for standing up and telling people what bullshit going to war for Israel is. Got his arm broken, got arrested. Not for causing damage, but for telling the truth. This is spiritual warfare, guys. It seeps down into your psyche. That's where it is. spiritual warfare. And the revolution is an evolution of consciousness, because that's where the battle always was for your mind. Get your heart and your mind right, and the body will follow. And to any atheists listening, I'm not here to convince anyone. You see, what I believe in doesn't require worship or belief or relationship. It wants people to do the work, the good work. Every atheist that is already acting in goodness and righteousness, they've already won. Sorry, you guys are going to heaven already. I hate to disappoint you. God wants people to do the work. That's why you get so fucking pissed off at hypocrisy. The people that talk the talk, that don't walk the walk. God wants you to walk the walk. He doesn't give a fuck what you believe. The real God doesn't even need to be acknowledged. He just wants you to do the right fucking thing. Period. Tell the truth. Even if your voice shakes, tell the truth. When you see wrong, call it out. Because what are you going to do? Hold it all in and try to march on DC and scream at them? And hold up your signs and your billboards and your shit? That's great. Do that. But start at home. Start in your neighborhoods and your communities. Tell your shady-ass, disgusting uncle who likes to look at young girls off. Tell him off. Tell him to go fuck himself. Tell him you know what he is and keep him away from your kids. Keep your communities accountable first. You know the assholes. You know who's just a fuck up and well-meaning and they're just whatever. But you know the assholes and you know the people who are legitimate. This is where it comes down to reputation capital. We got into this position that we're in now because we haven't been calling it out. We've been comfortable in our delusions, in our privilege. Don't want to rock the boat, because if you stand up and say something, people might think badly of you and you might blah, 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 end up with a broken arm and arrested. There's a quote by Edmund Burke. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is the indifference of good men. True evil is a very small percentage of humanity. What causes it to gain power is the silence and complicity of pussy-assed, cowardly bystanders that allow it to happen because they're afraid to rock the boat, because they're afraid to tell the truth. What are you afraid of losing? The bullshit validation that you seek from other people who don't actually give a fuck about you? Your reputation, your job, your money, your stuff? What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his immortal soul? The kingdom ain't of this world, guys. Not even in Hinduism. The goal is to escape the fucking matrix and really go home. Truth. Righteousness. You know what that is. It's not hating on gay people. It's not hating on people who choose to express their gender differently. It's not hating on women. It's allowing the vulnerable to be hurt It's allowing children to be abused. It's allowing women to be sexually assaulted and abused. It's allowing the hungry to starve. It's being cruel to people who are just different than you. Not bad, just different. It's not taking care of the sick and denying them health care in the name of profit. We know what's right and what's wrong. In addition to the Epstein files, in addition to my own experience with trauma and abuse, in addition to knowing that a school for girls was bombed, in addition to all of that, I am a mother. And I'll be goddamned if I don't say something or stand up for my children and your children and who I was as a child. I get to be the person that I needed. And today, I'm a very angry mama bear. The name for God on the lips of every child is mother. That's another secret that every religion, most religions in the world would keep from you too. The only one powerful enough to petition the Christ to act out of his own timeline was his mother. And the only one he revealed the true gospel to was his wife. Get it together, guys. You're going to have to start facing a lot of ugly truths. Ground yourself, stay sober. Don't let your anger make you act in opposition to what is most beneficial to you. Use it constructively and positively. Help your neighbors. And I'll catch you again next time.